right, y'all, clear the track. Chris, take me off the broadcast speaker.
Here we go, one last chance for 4 drivers to be set and on to the final round of the Blown Piston Racing League playoffs as we welcome you in tonight. The final race of round number 2 of the Wise Choice Contracting Truck Series, of course, also known as the Wise Choice Contracting 200 here at the Richmond Raceway, virtually on iRacing. We welcome you in. I am the captain, Chris Scala, as we enjoy this Friday night of racing here at the Commonwealth of Virginia, the virtual Richmond Raceway, as we get ready again for 200 laps of racing around this 3/4 mile oval. As it is a very exciting race right now to see who is going to be the one going for the championship next week at the virtual Homestead Binding Speedway. But we have to fill out that grid when it is all over with, and here are your point standings as we enter. Andrew Moore is on to the final round. Andrew Mraz is pretty much set. Avery Wilson is all but set right now with the field size we have. And then the battle comes down to right now 2 guys within points. The other 3, though, can still make it if the win happens. Now, Casey Duncan, he's not here tonight, so when it comes to that, he will be eliminated, unfortunately, after tonight. But there's still 7 drivers, and still 6 of them can get in with a win tonight. Of course, 2 others will get in by points. Andrew Moore, the only one locked in technically with a win as of right now. Here's your team points as we enter the 2 race to go mark. Pie-Eyed Racing with a huge race last week came back and caught the 4X team, and now it's within 8 with 2 races to go. It is going to come down to the final race at Homestead next week to decide who is going to be the team champion for this Wise Choice Contracting Truck Series. So it is going to be a really good battle when it is all set and done, and should be, again, a lot of fun here in the next 2 weeks starting tonight here at the virtual Richmond Raceway. So hopefully you're ready to enjoy some racing. Qualifying is just beginning out on track, and we're going to go down there and get you ready for the start of this Wise Choice Contracting 200 right now, as Andrew Mraz is on the pole as we speak right now. Got a returning driver back on track right now. Let's check on him. Here he is, Justin Gann, the 30 truck. Has missed the last few weeks and goes to the pole with a 21.8. Let's get the points off the screen there, Scaler. There we go. Gann, his hometown track here at Richmond. Got 4 100s over Mraz right now. Anthony Keys is 7 100s back, and then Avery Wilson about a 10th or so back right now in the 5th or 4th position. Jordan Berry in the 5th spot as of right now. So let's see who else is out there still. Everybody still has to qualify. How about last week's winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the dominant Andrew Moore, who has shown what kind of talent this young man has, of course, and can show what kind of dominancy he can have in a race. You see him up here rolling the high side as he gets that 77 truck up to speed. See the sun setting out turn 3 and 4. They call this the action track. A track that races kind of like a super speedway, obviously very tight and slow corners. As Moore crosses the line, he is P7 right now, 2/10 off, overshoots P1 or overshoots turn 1 a little bit there. That's going to hurt him. Down the back straightaway. Let's see how much it did hurt him when it's over. Across the line. Yeah, and it killed his lap, unfortunately. P7 with a 22.032. Jason Branch has completed a lap. Drift has been on track and completed a lap. We got 2 trucks who have yet to run a lap. Looks like David Brown got a lap in, but I don't think it counted for him, unfortunately. So he will start. So at least 15 trucks going to start tonight in this Richmond Raceway race. Now, going back to 2 weeks ago, which was the last time we saw these trucks on the track, it was, again, a dominant win for Andrew Moore, who moved on into the final round of the playoffs. And as I take a look here at the, of course it pops up on my screen over there, ended up I'm looking through my numbers here just to kind of see what all took place, of course, in that race. He ended up outrunning Roger Rios Matias to the checkered flag. Ryan Nicoletta finished 3rd. David Brown, Scott Wise ended up finishing 5th. Now, Moore did win stage number 2. He led 66 laps out of the 130, I believe it was, in that race, a 200-mile race, to score that victory. So we're back after that off week for Labor Day weekend, and we are ready to see who is going to go for the pole, or go for the championship, I should say, at the Virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. So it is time to put the U.S. Veterans Pole Award together here, and it looks like it will be the Virginia-born driver Justin Gann who makes his return to the series here this evening. So let's bring the 30 car up here and have a quick little talk with him as we get Justin up here. Justin, first off, welcome back, man. Missed talking to you, and glad to see you back at your home track here in the Commonwealth. And look at there, you get to sit on the U.S. Veterans Pole Award tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was hoping to be there, tomorrow for the race, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to make it there. But we'll see what we can do here virtually.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man, and this one actually counts for you instead of being at the race. But talk about strategy tonight. Obviously, you've been gone for a while. I'm not sure if you've gotten any racing on at all here in the last little bit or so, but you're back, and how you feel about Richmond and how you feel about that truck this evening.
I mean, the truck feels good, so I think the long run's actually going to feel a little bit better as we go. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing what we can do. But, the first run, as always, I'm just going to try and take it easy, feel out the truck, and then start pushing it as we go on, a little closer to the finish here.
And you got your teammates there right to your side and to your back there with Mraz and Keys. So we wish you nothing but the best, man, this evening, and maybe we will speak to you in Victory Lane.
All right, I hope so. Appreciate it.
Hey, you too, bud. That is, of course, Justin Gann, the Pole Award winner, brought to you by the U.S. Veterans. So we appreciate what the U.S. Veterans, of course, doing for us, and not to mention Justin Gann, of course, joining us in the booth. We'll move him down to the 4X team, but I know this weekend going to be one that is thought about for a very long time. Of course, one moment that we never thought, I guess we never pictured ourselves getting to, and that's, of course, the 20th anniversary of that day on that Tuesday morning, 9/11/2001. A day that none of us will ever forget, especially those who were alive for that time. Me being a 10th grader in high school at that point, and that's something I'll never forget. Is being in class that morning and somebody coming in from the office and saying, "Hey, something just hit the Twin Towers," and it all escalating from there. And that day, I could speak forever on that topic, but. We are going to do a little tribute here in a few minutes, so I think it's only fitting if I do this. But right now, let's show you the starting lineup for the race here real quickly. Justin Gann, Andrew Mraz on the pole, in the front row, I should say. Keys and Wilson there, row 2. Jordan Berry, Casey Barlow, row 3. Andrew Moore and Scott Wise there, row number 4. Row 5, Jim Storendike and Drift Row 6, Ryle Nardi and Bobby Anderson making a return this evening. Jason Kratke, Jason Branch will lock out the Jason row in row 7. Row 8, AJ Green. Not sure. I don't see him on the track, so I think he just ran practice. But David Brown is on the track, and that will complete the starting lineup for this race. 200 laps. Going to set the race to the playoff spots that are left available in this race. Again, 3 spots up due to only having 1 winner so far in this second round due to Guy Snyder winning that opening race in Bristol. 60 and 120 going to be the stages as they come off turn 4. Justin Gann, Andrew Mraz going to lead them to the green flag in Richmond. Who will be the final 4? We find out tonight. Off turn 4, it will be side by side. The 2 teammates fighting it out as Mraz tried to lead that lap. Gann trying to lead that lap as they fight hard but clean. Mraz driving it deep down to turn 1. I think Justin gave it to him a little bit there, trying to save some tires. And I think one thing I've beaten to death this season is the fact that that 4 truck has run really well in the trucks this season. However, has not been able to finish as well as he's ran throughout the season. And he will admit that he's not the best in the trucks. But needless to say, that the gentleman, Andrew Mraz, can drive anything you put to him. And unfortunately, though, the luck has not been with him so far this season on the truck side. On the Cup side, that's a whole nother monster. One truck all the way down to the grass. Scott Wise testing out the apron apparently off turn 4. Scott up there in the 7th position working the inside of Casey Barlow. We have our Track Cams 4 Gourmet back at work for you again tonight, of course, brought to you by TrackCams22.com. Make sure you check out TrackCams22.com if you're looking for oval, road course, rallycross, virtual reality, and even the fans camera that you could check out at times on certain tracks. You can go to TrackCams22.com to enjoy Track Cams 4 Gourmet. Joe Petrick joining us over on Twitch. Appreciate you, sir. The Bird Band, as we like to call him. As we see your top 4 pulling away. Now, as we come up here to lap number 9, I've thought about this for a couple weeks, knowing that the 20th anniversary of 9/11 is coming. And I figured what I would do to pay my tributes as part of the network here for the Captain Esports Network is as we come up here to complete lap number 9, and next time by, the next 2 laps from lap 9 to lap 11, I'm going to go silent to pay my tribute to those we lost 20 years ago. Tomorrow, one of the somberest days in American history. I pay my tributes right now to those we lost on 9/11/2001. I'm not one that does politics or religion or anything on here, but I want to be the one to say it right here. May God bless every single one of those families that have had to live this part for the last 20 years that were victims of that terrible day 20 years ago that none of us will ever forget. That day, and also to all those who are fighting for our country, all the emergency medical people and stuff like that. Joe, you count because I know you work in the hospital. Thank you guys very much for what you do. All right, back to the task at hand here as we watch Drift in the 15 truck as he's trying to hold off Jason Branch. This is for the some position. There's Drift, 9th position. I couldn't find it. I'm like, where's he at position-wise? 9th position there. Branch rolling the high side there. David Brown to his inside. You see Andrew Moore, who is on to the final round. You heard him talk about 2 weeks ago, if you remember. Uh-oh. That was scary. I was starting to say, we having server issues here? Uh-oh. I don't think it's me. I haven't fallen through yet. I'm probably about to fall through, but yeah, this is not good. Oh, there they are. They're back. Not sure if there's an iRacing hiccup or something happening. I know obviously it was a week of an update, which can always lead to crazy things. We continue on, though, it looks like. Jason Branch is on pit road, so it looks like he's been kicked out by iRacing, it appears. Jordan Berry back here in the 51 truck. Different colors on that custom paints and die cast number 51. Looking pretty solid there. Now, during our little pause there, you might have heard the 30 truck of Justin Gann saving a little bit of fuel. I heard him shutting his engine off when we were on board with him. So that's going to be something we keep an eye on. You see him, he's falling back to the 4th position as of right now. There's Jordan, 5th position in the 51 truck. And once again, having issues. Not him, but something. And I'm going to zoom in real quickly here. Yeah, so we've lost Anthony Hanley, it looks like. Yep, we lost Jason Branch. We're having a little bit, looks like an iRacing issue here, potentially, unfortunately. So Mraz leads. Here comes Anthony Keys, the Canadian-born driver, down to his inside teammate there, going for the lead, not able to get it yet. Check on Thorndike back here in the 13 truck. He is about a half second behind Scott Wise. In a battle for the 6th position starting to shape up. Casey Barlow about 4/10 behind him. I mentioned Andrew Moore. Here he is in the 11th position right now. Now Branch is back on track in the 15th position right now in the 22 truck. So he did get back out there, but unfortunately because of what has happened, it looks like his chances to win might be over with. As we see the battle between Drift and Andrew Moore, you see Drift a little bit of right rear damage on that 15. Andrew going to go by for the 10th position to move the driver again. That is the only one who has made the playoffs or made the final round off of a victory. As here we go for the lead. Teammates going at it. And finally, Anthony Key's going to clear him, and there's Avery Wilson right there in the one truck right behind him. The Keys with the third leader of the night. Andrew trying to crowd down the one truck down to the apron a little bit there, but Avery able to roll the center. And he will slow as Andrew kind of taps the wall a little bit there, and Avery's going to clear him, so up to P2 he goes. Jordan Berry has caught the back of this field. There he goes inside of Andrew Mraz. Or that's actually Gann. Berry right there behind him. Fourth and fifth position. And Gann goes by. Now Jordan Berry coming with him. Scott Wise about 3 seconds back in the sixth position. Great fighting up here for the fourth and fifth spots. This season been a fantastic season. A successful one. We've seen many different winners. We've seen some dramatic moments and so on and so forth, and I think here in the next 2 weeks we're going to see even more drama happen in this league, and I think you're going to see some great racing here, especially we're already seeing it at Richmond here in the first 30 laps, but then Homestead next week to crown a champion. And we have seen the 4X guys dominant. We have seen at other times the Pie-Eyed guys dominant, and that's why you see two teams within 8 points of each other in this championship run for the teams. Here's David Brown. A 96 truck losing a spot to Andrew Moore. He moves up to the 8th spot. So Andrew maybe more saving his tires for the long run. Starting to kind of matriculate is the word I'm looking for, his way through the field. As he goes to the inside past the Thorndike for position. There's Jason Branch trying to get back up here through the field and trying to get as many laps back as possible, as unfortunately something outside of his control kind of hurt his race tonight, and I'm sure that's not going to make him happy. I know it never made me happy when it happened. Thorndike moving over and letting David Brown go by, I believe. And then there's Casey Barlow up in that high side. You got Branch, as I mentioned. He's coming into the picture now. Jordan Berry up to the 3rd position, running pretty strong here. He's the 4th position, 1.4 seconds back from. I'm totally misreading things here. He's 3/10 back from Justin Gann, who is about 1.6 away from Avery Wilson. So, sorry, it's been a long week. I get things wrong sometimes. But Berry started all the way back in the 5th position up to 4th. Didn't that far back as I made it sound. Biggest mover right now is David Brown, who's up to 8th after starting in the 15th position. Up to the front, Avery Wilson putting pressure on the 14. As I mentioned, the stages tonight, 60 and 120. So we have 21 laps to go here at stage number 1. See Avery sends it in there on that high side. See if he maybe can try to get the run and cross them over. Very hard to do at this track. Heard a little bit of that wheel spin there on board with Avery Wilson. These tires definitely take a beating here at this track. Older surface. Not sure. Oh, caution is out. Okay, I was wondering if something happened. Caution is out here at lap 40. I do not know what happened. I wonder if this could be maybe some type of a competition yellow. I'm not sure here. I'm seeing Jason Branch coming flying up through the field. So this might be a competition caution to allow Jason Branch to get his laps back after what happened with that issue. So here come the pit stops are going to happen here at lap 42. Usually Lauren's pretty quick to message me and let me know here. So we'll see if that is the sitch. As the leaders are all on pit road. Bobby Anderson going to stay out there in that 19 truck. Looks like Jason Kratke going to drive through pit road, and there go the leaders off pit road. It looks like it will be Mraz, Wilson, Keys, and Gann going to be the top 6, along with those who either short or only took 2 tires or fuel only or stayed out. So for those here in the BPRL series, you might not know, but we are now officially broadcasting on 3 different channels at one time. And that starts, of course, on YouTube, where we've been now for over a year, over 500, almost 600 subscribers. Appreciate that. We are over on Twitch again. We've had a channel over there. We kind of let it sit there for a little bit, collect some dust. Once we dusted it all off and got it back rolling again, we're there. And now on the Captain Esports Network Facebook page, you can join us for a third stream that is set up there. So giving you multiple avenues to watch on your favorite platform or whatnot. You can always chat with us as part of it. And the good news is all the chats come right to one channel for me where I can see what everybody's saying. So make sure you enjoy that feature, so on and so forth, as we continue to grow this Captain Esports Network. So they're letting Jason Branch get his laps back and put him back on the lead lap after an unfortunate situation that took place. Pace car lights are off as they try to get this all situated. It looks like Branch is going to be back on the lead lap here, so we'll probably either get one more lap to green. Yep, lights are back on, so we'll get one more lap before we go back racing here. and get back to it and hopefully have no more whoopsies on the iRacing side. Obviously, those things happen when you have updates like this. Brown already on pit road as we'll have 13 laps to go before the end of stage 1. Pace car pulls off. It'll be Mraz, Wilson, Keys, Gann, Barry, your top 5. Here we go. Back at it. 13 laps to go in stage 1. Oh, Anthony almost lost it there off turn 2. Good save on his part. Going to lose a couple spots. Pulling away to about a half-second lead right now. Avery Wilson up to second. Justin Gann, as I mentioned, Barry up to 4th. Back here, Barlow and Thorndike going at it for the 11th position. Right in front of them, Andrew Moore, David Brown going for 7th as Thorndike takes that spot away, and Moore takes the spot from Brown. So a couple changes in position with 9 laps to go. You see Andrew kind of running that high line a little bit as Brown gets back underneath him. Oh, and around goes Thorndike into the outside wall. That will bring out no caution. I thought that would bring the caution out. But one thing I didn't mention, and I should get this out of the way really quickly, I do slip up sometimes on this, but that last caution was brought to you by Superior Templating. Of course, the caution sponsors all season long here on the Blown Piston Racing League races, so thank you, Superior Templating. And we did have Jason Branch receive not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Lucky Dog Awards, which was presented by Forever Home Lucky Dog, or for Forever Home Pet Rescue, I should say, for the Lucky Dogs, for Jason Branch. Now, what happened to Thorndike? Let's see. Comes off turn 2. He and Barlow side by side, and oh, the back end swaps on him. Into the truck, to the wall, the truck goes and keeps it going. No caution for the Illinois native. As Keys working his way back around Jordan Berry, that is for the 4th position. 5 laps to go, stage 1. Mraz with about a half-second still, trying to bring home another stage win. Now, if he's able to complete these last 3 laps of this stage, it will be a league-leading 6th stage win in the Truck Series for Mraz. But Wilson's starting to kind of apply some pressure to the Ford truck here, and so is Justin Gann. So it's going to get tight here. Obviously, that Ford showing it's got really good long, short run speed. The one truck maybe a little bit better on the long runs here. He gets to that tailgate of that of the Ford, not able to get there yet. Here he comes, looking. Andrew with a little bit of a block. As Gann's going to try the high side as Wilson comes off the bottom. Mraz will hold on for stage 1. And stage 1 presented by the Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. Looking for a paint scheme, make sure you hit up Scott Wise and the Wise Guy iRacing Graphics team, as Gann was able to slip past Wilson, and now the teammates going to go after each other off turn 4 here. And finally, Justin Gann will take the lead. So another lead change as the Virginia driver back to the front. Check out the drone cams, of course, that we have around this Richmond Raceway. Thanks to Track Cams for Gourmet. Again, you can check out all their camera packages and more at trackcams22.com and also on their Facebook page. There's your top 5 pretty much in the picture there. Jordan Berry sneaks in there every once in a while on the right side there. All within about a second and a half of each other. Scott Wise, 2.8 back. As a matter of fact, let's bounce back. There is David Brown, who's had a great run through the field here. Trying to clear the 31. See Drift back there battling with Casey Barlow in turn 3 and 4. That's the 9th position back there as these guys battle here for 6th, 7th, and 8th. So Gann starting to stretch it out a little bit. 0.6 of a second over Mraz. Wilson in 3rd still. At 14 trucks on the lead lap as Thorndike did go a lap down. Oh, hold on there. Mraz getting a little loose off too. Wilson going to dive her in there. As they race hard for 2nd. A little leaning on each other, short track racing. Mraz not giving them much room on that bottom. Wilson takes it away. Now, of course, Sunday night will be the Wise Choice Contracting Clash Series. That'll be the Cup Series. Open setups that you'll see Sunday night here on the Captain Esports Network here from the virtual Richmond Raceway. Hopefully you'll come and join us for that. Tomorrow night, we'll have the VOR IndyCar Series in the Pocono 300 an IndyCar race that is one of their Triple Crown events. 300 miles around Pocono. Should be a fun one. You can join us for that around 7:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night. .74 laps in. So look at the lap times right now. About a second, maybe a little more than a second fall off for most of these trucks right now. As you see the battle for third as Keys and Mraz go at it. Takes the fourth spot away now. Andrew Moore and Jordan Berry, those guys try to catch up to this battle for the fourth position here. Jason Branch, who's back on the lead lap after that competition caution that came out, running in the 11th position. And underneath Drift in the 15. Look up here. Hit the wrong button. As Casey Barlow, we're watching him to the inside of Thorndike here. He's going to make that pass and go by to 13. Who unfortunately is a little bit wounded right now in that iHeartRadio truck. So as I mentioned at the end of this race tonight, 3 drivers will move on to the finale at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway next week. We'll have both races for you here on the Captain Esports Network starting next Friday night. Same BPRL time, same BPRL channel. The Captain Esports Network. Drift getting a little out of shape there off turn 2. These trucks get very tight mid-corner, and then they loosen up, obviously, off exit because you see the wheel, obviously the front end is turned so much that the back end grips, or the front end grips, I should say, and the back end almost tries to spin out. Gann running in the 9th position right now, or I'm sorry, Barlow running in the 9th position behind Justin Gann. Casey about 10.5 seconds or so off. Now, I did learn some things this week. Actually, last week I learned about Casey Barlow. Now, one as he kind of clips the wall there, you know, not going into full detail because it's his business and stuff to talk about, but you know, I had made mention a couple times that, you know, Barlow had been running not as well as he had at times this season. You might remember a couple of races where he was struggling really bad. well, Barlow has been facing some issues with his leg, from what I was overhearing in a conversation, and it all added up to me and made sense what was going on. So, obviously, learning about that now, we wish Casey the best, and hopefully it's getting better for him. But that was part of the reasons why it seemed like he was running top 5 at times, and all of a sudden he was getting lapped almost every few laps. Unfortunate deal there for that driver, the 24. Good guy to talk to and interview, of course, when I get the chance to and things, but wishing him the best in that situation. There's Avery Wilson, 1.2 seconds back, and then another 2.5 ahead of Anthony Keys, who's in the 3rd position. Jordan Berry now up to 4th as he goes by Andrew Mraz, and here comes Andrew Moore. And Moore makes the pass for 5th. So once again, Mraz's tires falling off here in the long run. Good news for Andrew is he's got about 3 seconds or so on Scott Wise. So Jason Kratky making a pit stop here at lap 88. 54 truck on pit road. These guys do not run a full fuel cell in this series, so you're going to see them on pit road here relatively shortly. 65% fuel. As Moore looking to the bottom on Jordan Berry. So Moore said he was going to try something different tonight, likely do some experimenting. And here he is up to the 4th position. Showing why he's one of the guys to watch for this championship next week. Bobby Anderson was on pit road in the 14th position. The question is, when do the leaders come to pit road here? As we are just shy of 30 laps away from the end of stage 2. There you see a couple of the lap trucks. They got brand new tires. They're going to do a sandwich here, I think, on Mraz. Now Kratky, you see, is in the playoffs still. So obviously he's trying everything he can to get himself into the Final 4. You can vote Taylor all you want to, Mr. Clark. Anderson trying to give plenty of room and respect to the lead lap car there, but it's unfortunately slowing him down right now. As you see, Raul Nardi in the 21 and Thorndike going another lap down in the 13th position. That lead is starting to shrink just a little bit. Avery Wilson stalking that leader a little bit. Check on David Brown as he's losing the spot now to Scott Wise. The 31 truck going to go by. There's Barlow right behind him. Oh, Brown getting a little loose off turn 4. And to hold on to her. I was starting to talk about how the Richmond Raceway was built back in the 1960s. At that time, it was known as the Richmond Fairgrounds Raceway, and it was a half-mile dirt track. Of course, turned into a half-mile oval. And then back in the 1989 season, they turned it into a 3/4-mile oval. And that's actually part of the reason why the start-finish line is where it is because that's actually where it was on the half-mile oval. And they decided to keep it there instead of moving all the telemetry and stuff around the track that they had at that point. And that's why you see it where it is right now. As David Brown's going to peel off and come to pit road in a 96 truck. And, of course, this track led to the building of Iowa Speedway, which is a sister track, we'll call it, to Richmond. And at the halfway point comes the 96 to pit road. '51 and Jordan Berry on pit road. So I mentioned that lead, it's getting smaller. As Gann is going to bring it to pit road, lap number 102. The 30 has been sort of the dominant truck here tonight on pit road. Oh, he overshoots the pits a little bit. Four tires and fuel, and he pulls away. He's going to lose a little bit of time, if not the lead, after overshooting that pit stall a little bit. Here comes Avery Wilson. Avery a lot more aggressive coming to pit road there. Got to be careful, though, not to speed. Andrew Moore coming to pit road also. Anthony Keys made his pit stop, 14.8. Gann with a 15.5. Berry, 14.1. Let's see what the 1 can do. .14 flat, so Wilson with a great stop. And there goes Gann by him, so Gann is going to be able to hold on. However, the guy that's going to jump them both is this guy right here, Anthony Keys, who's going to pull the old undercut and jump in front of Justin Gann for the lead. .15 laps to go here in stage number 2. Anthony Keys and family watching tonight, as usual. His parents watching. And 6/10 of a second back, and then you got Avery Wilson about 1.9 back now. Jordan Berry, Andrew Moore, and Andrew Mraz back here now in the 6th position. Now the good news is Andrew Mraz is pretty much all but set to move into the final 4 here. As a matter of fact, let's bring up the points one more time. That's the wrong one, Scala. That is the right ones here. Let me get the other thing off the screen here, where we stand. Entering this race, as I mentioned tonight, Moore was in. Mraz 27 points up, so he's pretty safe. Avery Wilson was 12 up. Right now he's looking pretty solid. The battle is right there at fourth, and how big time that caution was for Branch to help him get back on the lead lap is now he's 9 points ahead of Scott, or he was entering Scott Wise 9 points behind. And if that would have stayed green the whole entire time, we might have had Scott Wise jump into the playoffs Final Four. And, of course, the wrong way, I don't want to say the wrong way, but a way that no driver, I think, would want to get in, and that would be through some kind of a technical issue, through something outside of everybody's control. So kudos to whoever made that call. If it was a family thing, you decided between the Wise family, who are the owners of the league, or if it was Lauren or whatever, I think it was a classy move to do, to allow Jason the opportunity to get back on the lead lap, because there's other people that maybe wouldn't do that, because you know what? That's just the way racing is, unfortunately. Things don't fall your way sometimes, right? As here comes Gann for the lead with 8 laps to go. He's fighting really hard to try to hold that lead, but Gann's going to roll center and roll off the corner and take the lead. So another lead change tonight, as the 4X team has led a lot of laps here this evening. But Avery Wilson is right there ready to pounce in that one truck. Keys up by 0.4 of a second, or Gann over 0.4 over Keys. Avery Wilson there third, as I mentioned. Trying to watch all these battles. You got that going on. You got this battle back here with Drift, David Brown, and Scott Wise. As Wise in that 31 truck. It, as I mentioned, Chance 2 throwback that he runs. As the battle for second continuing, as Keys protects that bottom. As Wilson going to take it on the high side to move Avery up to the second position. And his approach of Justin Gann going to continue as he fights him for position, as Andrew Moore moves back to fourth ahead of Jordan Berry with 2 laps to go. Down the back straightaway, final lap for the Virginia driver, who makes his return tonight to the series and comes off turn 4. And a stage 2 winner, Justin Gann. Welcome back to you, sir, as he picks up his 4th stage win of the season. And of course, that stage brought to you by the Wise Guy iRacing graphics. Of course, hit up Scott Wise if you're looking to get a truck painted or something. You can check out the Wise Guy iRacing graphics. So you see the leaders starting to come up on this other pack that is battling for position. David Brown, Scott Wise, drifting, and right behind them, there's Gann. You see Scott trying to hold off Gann to stay on that lead lap, or worst case, try to be the lucky dog. Of course, very tough when you're trying to get yourself to the Final Four and you're outside looking in. As in Scott's place right now, he has got to try to hold on and fight for everything he has got right now against Gann. A little bit of right front damage on that 31 as he's going to let the 30 clear him off turn 4. As Avery's starting to approach a 30 truck, his Wise kind of jumps out of the way here. Avery showing he might be the best truck on the long run tonight. Which is, what is this, what is, I can't talk. What this has become. There it is. Forgive me tonight, I am pretty tired actually. A long week of work and a lot of hours put in. Been well worth it though, as I get to come back and do my favorite thing to do at night. And that's broadcast races and have a good old time with friends and so on and so forth. So forgive me for being a little tired, but I'm having fun doing it. Gann protecting that bottom, using David Brown as kind of a pick into turn number 3. Wilson not able to make a move yet. So 7 trucks on the lead lap right now. Drift the last one. And it's going to be a little bit of distance back up to Andrew Mraz right now. So as I mentioned, Sunday night, the Clash Series back in action. And the Cup cars, open setup and more. You can join us for 200 laps around Richmond Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern. As there they are now in the back bumper drift. Let's go back to, everybody's pretty, I was going to say it was another battle, but you know what? I look, and the closest battle we got outside of here is a battle potentially for the 5th position here. Everybody else is pretty spread out now. But still a great run for a lot of drivers. I mentioned Jordan Berry's name here in the 51. Jordan returning tonight after a few weeks off in the custom iRacing, or custom paints and die casts, I should say. Want to get that sponsor right. So can Avery do anything with Justin Gann? As you see the battle right here. How much he's being smooth onto the throttle. That just tells you how much you got to be careful. Tire spin or even getting too tight off these corners. Listen closely. As I mentioned, this track was repaved. I want to say it was back around the 2006 time. A lot of tracks were repaved back then. They tried to hold, oh gosh, I forget what they call it, where they kind of grounded up the bottom lane here for a short time and allowed the middle lane to actually be faster for a while. And then they brought the repaver in and repaved the whole entire track, and ever since then, this is what we've had. And is definitely had its kind of interesting flow of races, the way the tires wear out And, you know, we saw it in the Cup Series race here earlier this season where it was like, and I think we're going to see it this weekend, people trying different tire strategies for short pitting and stuff, or even going long, trying to run a whole entire stage, and just very tricky when tires fall off the way they do. Battle for fifth continuing on here as Mraz about a half-second back on Barry. You know, Mraz probably not the happiest camper right now, having a truck that started up front, led some laps early, won stage one, but yet, unfortunately for him, running back here in the sixth position right now, and he's the last truck on the lead lap. Bounce back to the front here as Avery still trying to fight. Take a look at our race summary so far tonight. We have had one caution for 4 laps. Justin Gann leads. Andrew Mraz has had the fastest lap of the race at 21.86. And 15 drivers took the green flag here tonight, with Ronald Nardi and Bobby Anderson behind the wall. James Thorndike 6 laps down. Barlow 2 laps down. Everybody else either on the lead lap or a lap down. Right now, that is one of 6 trucks on the lead lap. So now 0.3 of a second separating the top 2. Mraz has fallen off about 0.8 of a second now from Jordan Berry. So the field pretty much starting to try to pace themselves and you know, save their tires to try to get to the finish. There will be one more pit stop. That'll get them to the checkered flag in this race. And we'll have the final 4 all set. As Cracky back on pit road. And for the lead, here comes Wilson. He has stalked that 30 truck all night long and has finally got a run off turn 2. And I think he's going to be able to roll off the corner. See if Gann can stay at the quarter panel. Not able to yet. Gets a good run off the corner as Avery leads that lap. Branch trying to figure out where to go, and Gann gives them it. So Wilson to the front. 54 laps to go in the one truck. And now, you see the 22 of Branch going a second lap down. So, what has been a rough night for the 22 truck as he almost gets into his teammate there. But back early in this race, there were some connection issues, it looks like, potentially with iRacing. Not sure exactly what. But Branch fell out. They had a competition caution, which is the only caution of this race so far. That put Branch back on the lead lap, and here he is now back 2 laps down. So unfortunate deal. Gonna probably keep Branch out of the final 4 tonight. Anthony Keys about 4 seconds back right now as Branch coming to pit road. I was wondering who that. I saw an iHeart truck coming to pit road there. But Anthony Keys, I mentioned 3.6 seconds back. There he is with Drift. Drift in the 7th spot right now, lap down. These guys doing a fantastic job tonight. Some great racing and clean racing too. Everybody giving each other spots and being protective. And I mean, the only really hard battles we've seen all night was up at the front a little while ago with Mraz and Wilson, but they did keep it clean and everything prevailed out. As Wilson slides, or Keys slides up the track there, so not sure if that's a different lane or if he was avoiding Gann, who comes to pit road. I'm going to go with the latter on this one as Justin Gann brings a 30 truck to pit road. And what is likely the final stops of the night. Tires going on that 30 truck. And there he goes. So 14.2 for the 30 truck. Jordan Berry, I think he's coming to pit road. That's why he dove down like he did there. Is also Andrew Moore is on pit road, and so is Anthony Keys, and now Jordan Berry. Let's look at the Gulf Racing Fuels truck. As Moore was on pit road, a 14.3. Keys with a 14.6. Is now Jordan Berry. He is on pit road, as I mentioned, in his pit stall. Leader Avery Wilson coming down pit road here at lap 155. And that hands Mraz back the lead. And there goes Wilson out with a 14.3. Another great stop for that crew. So Andrew Mraz leads right now, and I think he is going to pull the strategy of stay out as long as you can. If you get a caution, you get one. Mraz can technically go about another 10 laps or so on a tank of fuel. But he is going to be sent sailing basically through the field as these guys with the fresher tires just come winding on through. There's Andrew Moore in the 77 truck. As I mentioned before, he is the one truck in the Final Four. Was win last week at the Virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. .41 laps to go. Andrew Mraz still yet to pit, down to 7 seconds. Should be another 5 or 6 laps at the latest before you see this Ford truck come to pit road. But in the end, Justin Gann will take over the lead. He'll have about 2.5 seconds, almost 3 seconds on Avery Wilson once he does. It'll be Anthony Keys in fourth, and then Andrew Moore trying to stalk down that 14 truck. There you see Justin Gann. I've said it a few times tonight. Missed a lot of the races here towards the end of the season. Made a return tonight. And here he is. Potentially, if he can hold off a rally from Avery Wilson here in the next little bit, on his way to a victory here. And that's not discrediting Andrew Mraz, but Andrew does have to make one more pit stop before the end of this race. As we are now over 100 laps into this green flag run, which is something you'll probably see tomorrow night. I think the stat I heard a few months ago after the last Richmond race, I want to say outside of a Ryan Newman spin in the spring race this season, I think they said that every caution in the last 2 or 3 Richmond races have been due to the stage end or a debris caution. So I would say tomorrow night, expect there not to be many cautions in the Cup Richmond race. There's Avery Wilson within 1.9 seconds. Let's go back here, because we have a battle for the 10th position shaping up. They're both a lap down, multiple laps down. But Scott Wise in the 31 truck, who just got loose off turn 4 there. Branch is coming in and trying to take this 10th position away. And this is actually the final 2 spots in the points right here going after each other. Keys up the track. Something happened there between. There was no contact or anything, but Keys just went up the track, and Mraz had to avoid it, made contact with him. And that brings Andrew Moore into the picture here. So this is going to become a battle for third now. So Gann is taking the lead after Mraz made his pit stop. Mraz has the fresher tires now after a 14.3. And right there, the pass for position. So Andrew Moore has slowly worked his way up through the field and up to third. The only bad news is he's all of 9 seconds behind the leader, Justin Gann. Let's go back to Anthony here as he continues this fight. .28 laps to go. And this Wise Choice Contracting 200. Again, the final race before the Final Four next week at the Homestead Miami Speedway virtually here on iRacing. And then after that, we'll take some time off here in this BPRL series. They'll probably regroup and get ready for the new year before they launch their next season. We'll have to see and wait for it all to get confirmed. Expands lead out to 1.2 seconds. As this is the closest battle on the track by far, the fourth and third position here with Moore and Keys. There is nobody else in the field within a second and a half of anybody. So talk about a spread out field. We got it right here. Again, tomorrow night we invite you to join us for the Virtual Online or Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Series. As you see, Keys, a little bit of rear end damage here, but 7:30 tomorrow night we'll be at Pocono Raceway virtually on iRacing here as we watch a 300-mile IndyCar race, and then come back on Sunday for the Clash Series here at Richmond. The Cup cars here for the BPRL. Lap time still in about the 22 to 23 second range. Matter of fact, the fastest truck right now out on the track would be Mraz in the sixth position at 22.6. He's got about 3/10 on everybody else, but again, he was the last truck to come to pit road too. So 21 to go. Wilson got it down to about 1.5 seconds here as it goes back up to 1.6. These two going back and forth. As a matter of fact, last time by, Avery Wilson was 9 1/1000ths of a second slower than Gann. I can't even click my fingers that fast. Wonder how these drivers are feeling. I know there's some of these short tracks that you run laps like this at. Your arms will be hurting after it. I remember one Bristol race a couple of seasons ago when it was a 500 lap race. We went about 100 to 150 laps green, and my arms felt like jello. So we could end up with a second round here, and we'll know in the end here in 16 laps, that sees two winners not in the playoffs win. And we saw with Guy Snyder, of course, winning the Bristol race. Andrew Moore won the Atlanta race. He's the one playoff driver to win. And then if it all continues the way it is right now with 16 laps to go, we are going to see the Virginia driver win at the Virginia track. Talking about Justin Gann here. And that just gives you another reason to join us next Friday night for the Truck Series, because, yes, we'll have 4 people going for the championship, but anything can happen at the virtual Homestead in Miami Speedway. So the third place battle has calmed down now. Everybody else between 5 and 8 to 9 to 10 seconds behind. we do got a little bit of a potential battle as David Brown in the 96 trying to catch Drift, as they are about 1 second different. You see Drift up there in turn 4, so that could potentially become a battle. Otherwise, pretty square away here. If Justin Gann and these others can run 12 flawless laps like they have the other 84 laps, we'll call it. You subtract the 5 laps of caution out. And again, big shout out to Track Cams 4 Gourmet. You can get their information at trackcams22.com, supplying us with oval, road course, and rallycross, virtual reality, and even fan cams that you can check out by going to trackcams22.com. Here comes Avery Wilson off turn 4. As we'll see 10 to go right now, as Andrew Mraz going to unlap himself. There's Drift in the 15 truck doing a great job this evening. Back there you see Jordan Berry making a move. Jordan on his own little island out here in the 5th position right now, but great to see him back on track. Got himself a win this season. You see Barry pulling up to the bumper. David Brown, this is not for position. So right now as it stands, Andrew Mraz would move into the Final Four. As I look through the points right now, Avery Wilson would be in the Final Four. And if I'm seeing the numbers correctly right now, obviously pending on how it all finishes, it is going to be very tight between Wise and Branch, but I think Branch will edge Scott Wise out. We'll have to see. But they always say in racing, when you're battling somebody for the championship or for the playoffs, what's the best way to keep them in their spot? Well, don't let them out of your sights. And then basically here's Jason Branch is 2 laps down, and so is Scott Wise. And they're not far apart from each other at all. As Gann has extended his lead to 2.3 seconds, so Wilson, I think, is going to settle himself in the 2nd position there. As he showed earlier, he might have been the best long-run truck, and now here in this last part of the race, it has turned into the Justin Gann show from the pole. Now for Justin, he picked up his 4th stage win of the season. As I mentioned, he missed a bunch of races, so it's only going to be his 8th top 5 if he could finish this, or 8th top 10. His 5th top 5 and his 2nd win of the season, but that is 3/4 of a mile away as the final lap here from Richmond. And it's always good to win in the backyard of your home state. And Justin Gann is about to do it as the Virginia-born driver is going to win at a Virginia track, Richmond. goes to Justin Gann. Avery Wilson will take second, and he will be a Final Four driver. Of course, Andrew Moore already a Final Four driver. Here's a battle for, well, actually, it was just a bunch of trucks trying to get to the checkered flag, really. There really wasn't battles in there, but Anthony Keys does finish fourth behind Andrew Moore. But Moore will move to the Final Four, and along with Andrew Mraz. And by my count, it appears, if I'm seeing this right, it will be Branch likely moving on. But we'll wait for the final word, depending on how many bonus points Scott ended up with tonight, and also Jason Branch, as Gann will bring it over here to the start-finish line. And lay down some burnouts. If I can get this cooperator. Actually, Gann is taking it to pit road, so it looks like he is all done also. Let's take a look at the finishing results for this Wise Choice Contracting 200 that only saw one caution flag, and that was a competition yellow to help out a driver that had some issues due to looked like some kind of a error with iRacing. But Gann wins it by 2.7 seconds over Avery Wilson. Andrew Moore finishes third. Anthony Keys, Jordan Berry, your top five. Andrew Mraz, Drift. David Brown, good run in H. Jason Kratke and Scott Wise, your top 10. 11th through 19th, Branch, Barlow, Thorndike, Bobby Anderson, Raul Nardi, and then the rest of the drivers did not start. So 15 in the end started this 200-lap race. So great job to everybody in the race, and what ended up being fantastic. And congrats on the great green flag run by all the drivers. All right, let's talk to the man of the night here. Justin Gann goes to victory lane for the second time this season. Justin, congratulations on that. A well-earned victory. It looked like for a little bit there, you and Avery were obviously the best two trucks. It looked like Avery might have been better on the long run, but then in that last run, it was almost like you kind of became the better long-run truck.
Yeah, seeing how he came up through the field on that last run and was able to get past me, I knew he was saving better. So that last run, I pit early, so I was a little worried about tires, because obviously I think he had about 3 lap fresher tires than I did, and I just sort of took it easy, so that way if he was able to catch me, I could, kind of pull away and fight a little bit more. So it seemed to work out pretty well.
It's kind of funny. I brought this up about 15 laps or so ago. I said, I've run a 500-lap race at Bristol on iRacing, and I remember after about 100 laps, my arms were hurting. I'm seeing a comment over here in chat right now from one driver saying his arms are hurting. How are your arms feeling?
Oh yeah, you definitely short tracks. You definitely feel it, and you'll feel it in your legs, and you'll feel it in your arms for sure. I can't imagine, what those NASCAR drivers feel after one of these races, but sim racing, you still feel it, and it's definitely it can wear you out a little bit.
It can, but still a great job. I know obviously you're not going to be in the Final Four. You had some previous tasks to take care of and stuff, but it's got to feel good to know that you can just show right back up and go to victory lane against this tough field.
Oh yeah, it's always a great race here. 0 cautions at Richmond, other than the one that they
the comp caution
they threw. That's amazing. We had a good field out there tonight, a lot of competition, and definitely excited to see 0 cautions here.
Well, great job tonight. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Oh yeah, I got to thank Scott and Lauren for putting on the league. Go ahead and thank everybody over there at 4X. All the communication we had worked out and helped a lot. Thank iHeartRadio for sponsoring the truck. And thank you for putting on a broadcast.
Oh, absolutely, my brother, and appreciate your time. And we hopefully will see you on Sunday, or if not, in the very near future.
Oh yeah, I look forward to watching your broadcast again.
I appreciate it, man. Enjoy, and go ahead and enjoy the weekend also. But Justin Gann, winner here tonight at the virtual Richmond Raceway. And we'll get him up here to the channel. Let's bring in our second place finisher tonight, Avery Wilson. Avery, congratulations. Obviously, I think common sense would say you are a Final Four driver going for a championship next week. Now, I can't help. We're going to talk about the race here in a second, but I want to bring us back to a memory. Earlier this year when we got to this part exactly in the season, we go into the Final Four, and I don't want to say you weren't prepared, but knowledge-wise, you didn't have as much knowledge going into that final race of like, what do I need to do to win this thing? Does this make you feel better now?
Yeah, I remember that all too well now, but yep.
Well, yeah. No, I was just going to say, talk about the race tonight, man. That was some wild racing. It looked like you were the better long-run truck all throughout the race, and then there in that last stint, I don't know if Justin just put in another gear or something, but he was able to pull away from you.
Yeah, that was probably the best driving I've done since the Dover race. I thought for sure I had something for the win, but I think I might have stayed out just a little bit too long on that last run before my last stop, and I came out maybe like 3 seconds behind Ginn, and then I started chopping him down maybe 2/10 a lap for maybe 8, maybe 10 laps, I don't know. And then I got up to that lap car and made contact with him, and that kind of just killed the run ahead, and I just kind of backed it off then because I didn't have anything to catch him after that.
Well, it's still, yes, it stinks because you want to win every race, but to get to that Final Four spot now, that's got to be a good feeling knowing that you're going to be going against arguably the 4 best drivers in this series this season.
Yeah, it should be fun. I haven't run any laps on that track this season, so I'm going to have to get some laps on it because I don't want it to be a surprise like the Atlanta race was for me. I totally forgot that they had the multi-groove thing going on, and I didn't have much practice with that, so I'm going to go ahead and get some laps and get prepared and see what I can do.
Well, great job tonight, and a second-place run for you, and shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, shout outs to you for the broadcast. Your broadcasts are elite, man. They're really good. Lauren and Scott, the sponsors, and everyone in the league. Everyone's been doing a good job racing lately, so yeah, good job.
No, I appreciate the kind words. So, Avery Wilson, nice job tonight finishing second, and we will see you on Sunday.
Ooh, not Sunday.
Maybe not Sunday. How about next Friday?
Next Friday.
We'll make it a deal. How about that? But, hey, I tried. But Avery Wilson, great run for him, finishing in the second position here this evening. As the new points have come out, I do have them with me, so I do know the Final 4 drivers. And, yes, Avery has won. Yes, Andrew Moore, obviously, by winning that race has won. Andrew Mraz has won, and we will let you know here. I'm going to let the drama build a little bit before I give you the 4th driver when this is over with. So let's talk to Andrew, the one guy who was guaranteed a spot in the points tonight. He went out and said he was going to experiment a little bit, and not sure how much experiment you got done, but obviously a little bit of a different approach tonight. As you started towards the back a little bit, and you just kind of let the race kind of come to you.
Yeah, that first stint was just save tire run and see what I could do. And before we had that competition caution, I was working my way back up. So that was kind of a good strategy. It kind of stinks getting put back that far so quick, though. So I might not do that right away.
Well, obviously
on Sunday.
Yeah, anyway. I was going to say, and that's going to help you a lot for that series on Sunday, but. Also, it shows you the competition you got out here. Now, Homestead is going to be trickier because you're going to have multi-groove racing throughout that evening as, you're on a bigger track also, so the aero is going to play a bigger role. So getting yourself back in a spot like that might not be so easy.
Yeah, there's going to be some drafting, but Homestead, if you got the turns down really good, you can maybe pull away by yourself, but it's going to be tough.
Now, you were one also last season that got into the Final Four. Obviously learned a lot, and how's that make you feel as you go into a second straight Final Four race now for you to learn or bring what you've learned from last season to now?
Yeah, all these tracks I'm getting more reps on, more practice. Getting better at each one. I forget how I did at Homestead, but these 1.5 miles, I'll figure them out. There
you go. And he's been arguably one of the best drivers on the circuit this season, so he's looking pretty good. Could be a favorite going into next week. But, Andrew, shout out to whoever you like to.
Yep, family, friends, you, the Wises, my teammates. It's a great race tonight. Thanks a lot.
Oh, absolutely. It was a great race this evening. Andrew Moore finishing in the third position tonight and into the Final Four. Now, what I want to do here is before I bring you the fourth driver into the press or the booth here where we're at on top of Richmond Raceway, I want to bring back the points as we entered this race this evening. All right, so before I load in the new points, this is where we stood entering the race this evening. So as we came in, you saw Jason Branch with a 9-point lead over Scott Wise. Jason Kratke, 15. Anthony Keys was 19 back, and Casey Duncan, 88 points back as we entered tonight's race. So I'm going to keep this up on the screen because what's going to happen is I'm going to load the points, and when I do load them, this screen is going to change right in front of you, and you'll see where everybody moves and who goes into what positions. So just give me 1 second here as I save this and upload it in to see who is the final 4 drivers into the Truck Series season. I want to make sure I do this right before I screw it up, as I seem to do a good job of. So should be this one right here. We're going to save over this. And there it is, the update on the screen. How about this? One of the guys I said that likely had to win tonight to get into the Final 4, Anthony Keys, jumps from 7th and pretty much eliminated into the Final 4 by 1 point. You can't help but feel bad for Branch and for Scott Wise, who unfortunately will be eliminated along with Kratke and Casey Duncan. But let's talk to the driver of the 14 truck that pulls the Miracle feed off tonight into the Final 4. And I'm not even sure if he knows that he's in. We're going to find out here right now. But Anthony Keys, you got a copy?
Oh, Chris?
Hi, Anthony. How are you?
I'm better than I expected to be after this race.
Why would that be?
Well, I had a little bit of an incident there with my teammates, and I thought that was going to be it for me because I lost my clean race bonus points. But apparently, I managed to squeak it out.
You did. You are in by 1 position, basically. 1 point. You are the Final 4 driver.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think you mentioned it on the broadcast. I came into the night thinking that I was going to have to win to get in. I was like 19 points behind. So my philosophy was just don't worry about stages or whatever. Just go for it. And it's funny. I wasn't going to lead any laps. Like, the only reason I took over the lead and got a bonus point for it in the first stage was because some of the other guys, my teammates namely, were saving fuel in the assumption that we were going to go green and they were going to try and get stage points. And of course, this whole craziness happened with the iRacing servers, and it affected like half of the lobby, and I just got put in a lucky position there. Unlucky later in the race, but did just enough.
And when you look at it, there's so many factors, and I know like in professional sports, you always have like the one event that happens in a race or in a game itself that's like, oh, that was the reason why you won or whatever. So there are so many factors on your side that, okay, that lap you led tonight, that could be the reason you won or got into the Final 4. It could be maybe the one lap you led in a race earlier this season. It could be the one position you gained on the last lap. So many different factors, but in the end, it comes down to 1.
I know. It really is crazy because you can go look back at previous races in this round where it's like I wrecked but didn't quite hit the nose of the car on the wall right, and I ended up not blowing a few laps earlier and gaining a spot, which is I think actually what happened the time I blew an engine, or gaining 1 bonus point in the regular season. It really is kind of crazy to think that one decision all the way back in like February can affect right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, just one small pit strategy, it's crazy.
Well, you did your part tonight, man. Congratulations. You're on to the Final 4. As they say, one person's loss is another person's treasure, and tonight you caught the treasure there under the rainbow, and shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, shout out to, you know what, if my parents sat through all of this and got to this interview, I would genuinely be impressed because, it wasn't looking too good. But shout out to them if they're still watching. Shout out to you for putting on these great broadcasts. I'm sure tonight was pretty interesting with everything that was going on. The Wises for putting on a great league, and my teammates. And especially tonight, a shout out to Jason. If he didn't get screwed by iRacing, and I'll speak for him, when he went out and in, he lost a set of tires, so he was so much slower on one of those runs. You probably noticed it, but I'm not sure if you knew why. Yeah, he lost a set of tires. So.
I did not know that part, but I knew that and I had a feeling that it might be other factors that would come in because of that situation happening, but I did not think about that one. But that's unfortunate. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I assume if he had that extra set, he probably could have gotten past one person. So yeah, I mean, shout out to him and my other teammates that are going to be in this Final Four. Yeah, just the way things work out sometimes, right?
Yeah, it's the way it does work out sometimes, and it's crazy that these kind of events happen, and it's an unfortunate deal for Jason. But needless to say, man, I'm more worried about your parents maybe falling asleep to my broadcast than I did anything. So, because when you have a guy that put in about 50 or 60 hours of work this week and is, just getting through this broadcast here at the end now, it's like, all right. So thank you to the Keys family for watching. Appreciate you guys very much. But Anthony, good job. We'll see you Sunday, buddy.
See you then, man.
You too. All right. So there is your final 4 drivers. And, I'm going to second what Anthony said there. When you think of the factors, and for those who are watching and maybe are not iRacers, I assume that everybody watching tonight, somebody who races on here. When you have a situation, when you get kicked out of a race like this, especially of this proportion, I mean, let's face it, outside the championship race, this is the biggest race because, you've got 8 drivers, in this case actually 7, unfortunately tonight, racing for 4 spots. 1 spot was taken, so obviously do the math, that's now 7 for 3, or 6 for 3, I'm sorry. And, when one driver is the 4th guy in, and not even 10 laps into the race, your server starts to crash on you. It's it hurts, and knowing Jason and being a guy that ran with the 4X team and still does at times when I can, knowing Jason and knowing all those guys, it's one that they take serious. So I hate it for Jason. I hate that happened to him tonight, and it's one of those deals where I'm like, man, he could learn from it, but there ain't nothing to learn from in this case. You can't. So. That's the part that hurts for Jason the most, man, and hopefully he keeps his head up as much as possible and knows that he didn't do anything wrong to lose this one. So, all right, with that said, congratulations to Anthony on making it in. I'll get the points off the board now because I'm sure you're tired of looking at that. Let me give me a second here. I'll get the team points up and update those before we get out of here for the night. I am off to bed. Not making excuses, just pointing out facts. Here we go. Team points right there. It should update itself. And bada boom. Let's see if this is accurate. It is not. So let's do this real quickly. Stand by. Unless they somehow tied each other tonight. I think they act, well, no, because that would have been the same. That's not right. So give me 1 second here. I don't think it loaded properly. Stand by. Actually, you know what? It is accurate. Holy moly, it is. Wow. So the points did not change. It is still an 8-point separation between Piehide and 4X as we enter the final race coming up here next week. So that caught me off guard, really. Wow. So 96 back to Torque Wrench, so those guys are pretty much eliminated. It is down to 4X versus Piehide for the championship of the teams coming up next week at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. So a lot of drama this evening. Congratulations to the Final Four. That is Avery Wilson, of course, Andrew Moore, Andrew Mraz, and Anthony Keys, who go into the Final Four at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. So we're out for this evening. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Stay safe, and once again, as we wake up tomorrow and think about what took place 20 years ago, think about their families, of all those who lost 20 years ago, and once again, thank you to the medical staff, and thank you, soldiers, for what you do for this